See, manager manages and leader leads, but that's simple. But a leader inspires. He leads by being an example. He leads by inspiring. And he need not be a manager. One of the things which we, many of us have felt this, that why in a company's life cycle, the biggest problem companies feel are in the middle management level. And the reason is, often we promote the guy. Suppose we hire, in a case, company like MSIS, we hire a lot of engineers, programmers. Now over time we promote them to be managers. But nobody has trained them to manage things. There is no training at the middle level management level, a middle level managerial level. There is no training, not only in our company, in any company. Of course, some companies are now beginning to understand that and change their way of doing things. And I'll tell you how we have handled this problem. But that is the why this problem gets created at the middle level management level. Now, leaders, I have often shared this, that are released from within. That is something I have shared earlier. When I say released from within, we all have that ability to lead others, to inspire others. But our own inner constraints hold us back. So remember this. Leadership, some people say, are leaders born or are leaders trained, or leaders made or born? Well, yes, born or made, both are possible, as long as you are released from within. You're released from your own inner constraints, that your inner boundaries, inner problems that you have created for yourself. Once you're released from those, you become a good leader. And that is something we'll talk more about. I have written some blogs as well about it. But now coming back to how we have handled at MSIS, the problem of having, the middle level, management level having problems, or people not being trained to manage their roles. The way we have handled this is we have started creating a lot of trainings for them. Now some companies do that they evaluate people, only then they promote them to be manager or the fellows, and so they have a technical track, and we have that too. We have also started evaluating people, but more importantly, we have started training people, because everyone has career aspirations, and for good or bad, people do feel that they should be manager after a certain experience level. So we do give them that opportunity, but then we train them to be better managers, and that to me is the key. I feel cream always rises to the top, which means if you are good at what you do, money will follow. But if you spend all your life following money, you will end up doing things which you may regret later. And I have often said that as much as is possible, try to lead a life with no regrets. Don't do things that you will be regretful about later on in your life. So I will suggest that be the best version of yourself. Be whatever you're good at, follow that and be the best in that, best that you can be. Money will follow. Money to me is the after effect of what one does in life, not the main goal in life. And I can go on. There are so many people who made money as the primary motive and ended up, I shouldn't perhaps talk about the consequences of that, because they're not going to be pleasant. It's not going to be pleasant. But there have been many examples in our life where people who followed only money ended up regretting that later. See, I have felt that I'm like a farmer. A farmer knows only one thing: how to cultivate. Or in our sales terminology, we say hunter or gatherer, right? So I have been a hunter too, from sales terminology perspective. But if I see overall, I'm like a cultivator. I only know how to start businesses. I've never chased money. Though every business have had a good sustainable business model and everything, of course, that's all part of the education or all part of the experience one gets or gains. But I have never chased money in that process of building the company. For me, main focus has been building a good, successful company. Money will follow. I won't say it was important to me, that was inherent in me. Like I say, a farmer knows how to cultivate. Farmer feels happy if he has raised a good crop. Now, how much that crop would translate into in the market price and all that he may not worry about, he may not care about at that point in time. He cares about, is this a good crop? Is this going to feed enough people? Is it going to feed people's stomach, or is it going to yield some end result, whatever the crop is meant for? Like cotton may result in some yarn and clothes and all that, right? And I think I always felt that I had to build a good company. I mean, every time I finished, when we exited in a company, I was always ready with the next idea. I mean, because I didn't know anything better. It's like some people look for a job, right? I never looked for a job. I held only one job in my life, though it was through two companies. First company in India, and then I moved to US. That kind of job continued as part of another company. The first time I made my resume was 11 years into a job, and I was struggling to make the resume, and most of the people who saw the resume said, well, this is not a good resume. I had a very successful career, but they said, looking at this resume, most of the CEOs will be threatened in hiring you. So I ended up starting a company. Then after my first company, I tried to look for a job again. Same result. Started a second company. So I was never really good at finding jobs. I was always good at building companies.